You can hear the sand dripping through the hourglass.
Okay, what do you want from a director?
Oh, no, that's cool. That's a good question. Nobody ever asked me that. I suppose you'd like somebody who, you know, I remember reading somewhere some actor said you'd like to have a fan, which is, you know, you want to have somebody that likes you as an actor, which is nice, but you want somebody to be honest with you, and you want somebody, me most of all, I guess I would say, is you want somebody who trusts you, and that's actually a lot to ask of anybody, but of a director too, that they're going to trust you, that you're not going to do something crazy or weird, or you're going to be open to what they want you to do. You know, they're just somebody who trusts you that you're not going to be loony or something. And I think a lot of people enter into the arena with an actor thinking they're going to be difficult and not just trusting you, because I will trust the director right off the bat unless he does something to break my trust. But, you know, it's a general word, and it's a warm and squishy word, I suppose, but that's about the one thing I like from somebody.
What do I want from a director? Clarity and certainty. Even when they don't know what they are not sure what they want, just to convey that, to convey that they're not certain what it is that they want, but to convey that clearly. It's so important to feel that you can rest what you do as an actor, which is unravel, that it's going to all be in a safe kind of basket, and that it'll be put together confidently by someone.
Did you get that feeling from Woody Allen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I got, yes.
Part of the question, is that really? Because he's legendary as being Mr. Oblique.
Well, but I knew he knew what he wanted. I knew he knew his story. He wrote it. He was very clear about what he wanted. He said to me, "Could you just say the line the way it's written?" And I thought, whoops. Because, you know, you kind of accommodate sometimes lines to the way you feel a character would say it.
From a director, I think you want their full emotional participation, because the audience experiences the film through the director's eyes, so they need to be a character in every scene, so they need to be emotionally involved in every scene.
What I want from a director that I got from Pedro, wow, that's difficult, you know, because I didn't work in a lot of films, but like 30, and every director is different. It's so different. It's every role you start preparing and filming, wow, it's like a new job. It's like a new oficio, like a new work, yeah. But which I really will remove from Pedro and share to the other directors in a way. It's his passion for what he does, his passion when it has to happen, that he gives a lot, because it's true that sometimes we actors feel a little lonely and a little that getting to bring the film up because the story doesn't exist, or because the director doesn't feel the need to talk about the story he's telling.
To say what you want in a sentence or less, or to have a really good grasp on, of course, on the story, you know. For me, I don't like when there's more what I don't want them to do less than I want them to do. Of course, you should know the story and the thing, and allow for you know, it's being on set, that being a live thing, and knowing an answer is one thing, but don't be rigid in that answer. I think with anybody and anyone in life, because we kind of limit ourselves if we already know the answer. Yeah, I realize the older I've gotten, the less I know. That kind of mentality, you know. We don't trap ourselves.
You don't want to be told what to do, but you want to be told which way to go in some way. But you want space. I mean, you want some sort of
yeah, I'd rather just give me sort of parameters, you know, versus don't micromanage. Otherwise, why you hire an actor to get somebody else that needs to be puppeteered? You know what I mean?
Does it really make that much difference if the director is also an actor?
It made a difference to me on this. Not that he was an actor, but he was an actor that I did all my scenes with. and he happened to be directing the movie as well. So it shifted how or he shot the movie. You know, it wasn't calling action. It was just the camera would start rolling and we would just start doing the scenes. So there was no like, all right, and action and go. It was just, we just start doing our stuff. We'd improvise a lot, also because he wrote it. So, you know, he had a lot of control with the movie. So he gave me a lot of control of the movie, essentially. He empowered me a lot, just because of where he was at and what him being the actor and the director. But outside of that, I mean, it was more benefits to it than any negatives at all. I mean, especially with Ben specifically.
What do I want from a director? Clarity and vision and freedom.
You know, Meryl Streep said the first thing she said was clarity.
Really?
Yeah. I asked
Oh,
her that
isn't it?
question last year. She went, clarity. Seriously.
Yeah,
not
I
much
think that's the
wouldn't
main one. Did she
yeah.
really?
Yeah, she did. So you're on the same wavelength.
That's all right. It's good company scheme. Fine with that.
Well, you might as well, yeah. Really, it's clarity. And beyond
Yeah.
that, I mean, you want someone who's going to tell you what the role should be, how you should play it, or you want to let you find it? Or
No, you don't want someone to be prescriptive, but you don't want someone to, you know, leave you be when you're feeling like you're floundering. You want someone who can read you well and who's good at describing what they need. But when I say clarity, it's not about, and then I want you to scratch your head and move a quarter to the right because that will show that you're feeling sad and that's what I want. You know, it's not that. It's more, it's stuff that makes you, it's a clear way of saying something that produces a creative response. It's a complicated dynamic, but it's that thing of like the directors that, like, you know, when actors say, oh, he really knows how to work with actors, it's that. It's not saying do this, it's saying, it's giving an idea that kind of fuses with an actor's brain so that they think they've come up with a great idea and they're being incredibly creative, and then it's up to us to sort of, you know, solve the problem that's been presented in a creative way. But the question's being raised properly. That doesn't make any sense. I need clarity.
You need clarity. You need clarity about it. Actually, one thing Streep did say was that she wanted this person also to be clear. If they didn't know, she wanted to know they didn't know.
Yes. Yeah, I do as well. Yeah, for sure. Nothing worse than someone who's clearly floundering and pretending they're not.
What do you want from a director, in general?
Okay, first thing I want in the director is when you meet them, if they do what you've just done, they lean forward, right? They don't sit like this. I want a director who kind of works with you, who's there and, you know, ready to communicate, because a character is built by 3 people, I think: director, actor, writer. And in this case, maybe 4, because you've got the author as well, of the book.
You're possessive about the role, and you want the director...
Possessive?
Yeah, in the sense that, first of all, there's the role on the page. Then the director who presumably came to the project before you did, has got his ideas about how the character should be played. Then you come to the project...
Well, he's cast you, you know, so he knows that you can achieve what he wants. I want to do and achieve what the director's vision of the character is, because I think that's when you do your most interesting work. If you really trust a director, then you trust in his vision. He can bring out things in yourself that, you know, take you off your old kind of tricks and let you sort of surprise yourself, which is when it becomes most fun as an actor.
Enthusiasm. I like feedback, you know? I mean, I love the directors that don't look at the monitors, but there are very few of those now. I'd like a director, if the camera's here, for the director to be sitting there by the camera. You know, I find that's really liberating.
You're an actor who wants input, or you want to be left alone, or you just want to go with whatever they want?
I like input. Yeah, I like input.
Oh, a great support, a great guide. I mean, obviously, you always want a guidance. You know, you want to, because this is the most insecure thing to do when you're something that's very visceral for one, and having to bring it to life and give it shape and form and understanding and meaning, and it's very difficult. So all you want from your director is a great support and great understanding, and certainly a great vision of what, you know, he or she is trying to accomplish.
I think ultimately collaboration. I think the relationship with the director and the creative relationship is just so important and so crucial, to be able to have open discussions and to be able to put opinions on the table, and for them not to be judged but to be discussed, and then for ultimately the best case scenario to come out of that. I think as an actor is just such a beautiful, cocooned feeling, you know.
Rewarding.
It's yeah, it's very rewarding because, I mean, when you know, it's easy to create on your own. You know, if you paint a picture, it's easy. It's all flowing out of you. You're the only one that, you know, criticizes it. But when you start to create with someone else, it's a much more organic, free-flowing process. So the more that can be encouraged, the more fluid it can be, the better the creation is usually.
For me, probably taste and boldness. You know, 'cause I think that the worst thing a director can be is a combination of cowardly and bad taste. You know, like those are the two worst things I think. And I do think Madonna has both boldness and her taste. I think is impeccable.
True.
I would put Madonna and Peter Weir in the same league in terms of level of preparation. It was absolutely extraordinary. She gave me a raft of books by way of research, and I'm not joking, almost every single sentence was underlined and highlighted, and there were marks in the book. Like, she had absorbed so much information before we started. I mean, this is clearly a grand passion of many years standing for her, and that's just how it was with Peter as well.
It was a privilege to be led into that, wasn't it?
You always hope that you'll work with a filmmaker who's deeply passionate, very excited, and has a very strong vision about what they want to do, and that's exactly what we got with this project.
Did David Cronenberg live up to your expectations?
He's wonderful. Yeah, I mean,
What makes him wonderful then?
He creates the most extraordinary atmosphere on set, and it's one of total respect for everybody and every part of the team, and completely creative and collaborative. But it's also sort of going, you're the right person for this job, I trust you, do it, which is also very empowering. He's extraordinary.
Well, I trust him because he's intelligent, you know. I suppose in some ways, not unlike Freud, he's a very good teacher because he's able to impart sometimes very complicated ideas about a scene in an easily understood way, you know. He doesn't talk over your head, and he's an extremely good listener, which I think Freud was as well. He just makes it easy. He creates, I mean, I knew from the other two movies I'd done with him that he will create an atmosphere on set with a crew that he's familiar with, in which it's easy to work, and that he will pay attention to the most subtle nuances of any given take, you know. You feel comfortable with him. That's half the battle. If you feel relaxed and you feel like the director knows what he or she is doing, it makes the job a lot easier. So, yeah, also, I suppose on a personal level, we have a similar sense of humor, I think, you know, about things. There's a certain irony that he has. He's the sort of person who will make a joke, and if whether you get it or not, he just keeps going, you know. That sort of, in a way, is sort of I'm generalizing, but it's a kind of like an English sense of humor, very much, I find, which I thought that's something that Freud had as well, you know, that kind of witty banter. A lot of times you don't even know he's made a joke, you know.
To be, for them to know what they want, I think, and to be able to, I don't know, that's a really good question. But it does help massively if they know what they want, even if it's just looking and gleaning from what you do, what they can use to help tell the story. But
Mr. Fishburne, you started with Mr. Coppola.
Yes, if they know what they want, that's great. What's even better is if they can communicate what they want, and they can share it with you in such a way that you can actually bring things to them. And I want somebody who's going to be open to, you know, my own creativity and who's willing to collaborate and allow me to swing.
yes, it's wonderful if they can. Stephen can. He knows what he wants, but he's also open to collaboration and to. He watches very carefully. I mean, I've never met him even before, and yet I think I felt within a couple of days that we were very much working together.
And you want to feel appreciated, and you don't want to be dominated. You don't want to be told.
Will not be dominated.
I wouldn't try, you know.
Lawrence Fishburne will not be dominated.
Courage. And I love when somebody comes to me and say, okay, I wanna do this script. I want you to be on the journey with me. I think it's always much more fascinating and fun and interesting if you actually are trying to explore something, or trying to find out the truth about something. I don't think it's so fun when somebody say, okay, I know the truth, I know everything about this, so just do your thing, just sit there and go there and say that. Then it's not working together. I think it's always much more interesting to create, and make the movie together. So and that you have to have courage to do that in a way. And you have to have trust.
Mi piace molto essere diretto, anzi diciamo che pretendo molto dal regista con cui lavoro a cinema e di cui mi fido e a cui affido la ripresa del mio lavoro. Pretendo che sia lui a dirigermi, a orientarmi. Quindi chiedo molto, così come spero di dare molto agli attori in teatro quando li dirigo. Cioè, credo moltissimo nel timone che un regista tiene al comando della navigazione che è un film.
Quindi secondo lei come si troverebbe con un regista che dice guarda, ci pensi tu?
Non mi troverei bene.
Non ti troverebbe?
No, ho bisogno di lavorare con registi che abbiano le idee molto chiare.
Lei che fa
Perché credo che nei limiti della chiarezza esistano le condizioni per potersi muovere con libertà.
I like to collaborate, but I think one thing that I've noticed about myself, and I'm starting to realize this only after many years, I really like, finding out. I like coming to their vision. I like coming to their idea. And in that going towards something that isn't mine, there's usually a very interesting process that fuels what you're doing. So I like a strong director. I like a director that's personal. And it's not just about being putty in their hands. If they're good, I'll be putty in their hands, but some directors don't want you to be putty in their hands. Some directors want you to fight them. Some directors want you to bring a lot to the table, and they're very passive. There are all kinds. I think you got to get there. You got to say, what are we doing? Know what your tendencies are, abandon them, and start from zero as much as you can. My only prejudice is I think I like personal filmmakers, and I also have a tendency to really like crazy filmmakers. I mean crazy in I like extraordinary circumstances. I like extraordinary things required of me, because that's where I am motivated. I have a little trouble with very rational, very, I don't like chaos by nature, but when I'm given chaos, that's when things heat up, and you gotta turn up the heat to make things flexible enough that you can make something. That's all.
For me, Clint is among the very best, very top, because he works the way I like to work. Quick. He's very quick. He's very efficient. Wastes no time, so he's not wasteful of energy and actors. You get a director who likes to take 17, 18 takes. I don't know why you want to do that. What is it? What's wrong? If there's something wrong with the camera, fix that. But if there's something wrong with my performance, tell me. Don't just keep saying, let's do it again.